And what you do not need is breakfast.
No.
Because I ordered it through the Starbucks app.
Yeah.
And then forgot that I had ordered it through the Starbucks app.
Oh, that's lovely.
And I forgot about it until I was 10 minutes past Starbucks.
And you're like,
and I was like, crap, well, I guess I'm not getting breakfast.
Yeah, I would say so.
So hopefully someone at the Nashua Starbucks just took it so that it didn't go to waste, but I'm pretty sure it just goes to waste. Well, the 2019 Mazda CX-5.
Yeah, it's good to be reunited. I had this all weekend. It was a fun time.
Yeah, it's a good little crossover.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that really stuck out to me, like I try to talk about what's different of every car, is this one's the fit and finish at the price point. It's just solid. Nice. Yeah,
it's very solid. Nice. I owned a Mazda 3. I had a 2011 Mazda 3, and I felt the same way. It seemed well built. It drove well. That the steering was, their I don't know if their motto is or tagline is still zoom zoom, but it felt very zoom zoomy. You know, for the price, it was like the steering is nice and even and predictable and it goes well, and it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's like solid.
No, it's not the fastest thing, but it's comfortable to drive. And actually, at first, when I got into this car, I was like, these seats are narrow, and then it occurred to me, they're going for like the sporty bolstered feeling, I think, in the seat.
Yes, and they're not uncomfortable.
They're not uncomfortable. It's just like for a fat American to get in here and you're like used to big things that swallow you up, it just felt a little narrow.
It's not a Chevy.
It's not a lot of things, but I've had seats that are more bolstered. It's just that usually they're like the sport seats in a car.
Yeah. You know what this reminds me of? Reminds me of the Lexus we just had.
Okay.
The UX. That was a lot more money.
I would take this over that UX, hands down.
Yeah. And which is super interesting to me because I think something you mentioned in a text, I think, was that they're sort of going for like a step above the competition and sort of the consumer-y segment. Is like they want to be not the premium brand, but above the consumer brand.
It feels like that.
And that's certainly what it feels like.
Where like Buick wants to be, that same sort of...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And apologies to Buick. I'd rather have this than a Buick.
I think it really depends on the vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean, in this segment, certainly.
Yeah.
But again, it really depends on the Buick we're talking about.
It's true. So this one is, I think we've got the thing in there, something 37,000, 38,000, something like that.
Oh, yeah, 38.6.
Yep, 38.6, and this is the what trim? I think this is the top tier luxury.
Okay, so we got to talk about how the trims here are a little screwy in their names because, like, a lot of car manufacturers, the Touring is like the top trim. In Mazda speak, Touring is like
the medium one.
It's second out of four.
It's like Sport and then Touring.
And then Grand Touring, and then you end up with like, I don't know, Ultimate Grand Touring with the Fancy Pants edition.
Sure, I don't know. But this is like the sort of...
This is the Signature is what this is called.
Okay. And this one's got pretty good stuffs. So, you know, fit and finish is really nice. All the bits. Steering wheel, I think, feels phenomenal. I really like the steering wheel, and the way that like it feels in the turns and things is really good. One thing I noticed, I'm trying to. There's a few things that are like weird here. One of them is the, which we're going to use here in a second, is the auto windshield wipers are really aggressive.
Yeah.
And they turn on a little too often, which is whatever. But that's the first thing I noticed when I got in and it was raining.
Yeah.
It was like, why are they going at like full speed and whatever? But then the second thing that's weird that people are going to notice is all the controls for the infotainment are down here.
Yeah.
Which is fine because, okay, you've got a knob and things and it's okay. The volume control is down here, which is sort of like Saab-ish.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's
I'm going to
school.
reach down here. Yeah. Right. It's, the key's down here, which is kind of neat. You push on it to mute it, which I do like. But you can't really put stuff there because if you can't put a bag there.
Yeah.
If you have a pocketbook or purse or something, if you're you're anybody, you can't put it there because then you can't reach any of the controls for the radio. That's a little weird. And then the infotainment screen, which we only just discovered.
Yeah.
When you're in regular Mazda mode.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to control it with the knob.
Yeah, so
and
when
the knob is okay.
When I first get in, I found myself swiping and pecking at the screen like,
You
why
can't.
won't this work? I don't understand.
You can't do that. And it's got nav, and it's got, make phone calls and whatever, and it's got all that stuff. And it's fine. The system is okay. This is much better than the old one. And then you can go in, and you do have CarPlay and Android Auto, even though you couldn't get Android Auto to work. You gave up on it. I don't know, blame the car, blame Android Auto.
Blame me for being lazy, I'll be honest. I gave it about 5 minutes, and at that point, I was like, okay, this is just not worth my time anymore.
CarPlay, which I find to, in general, be extremely buggy, worked great when I plugged it in. So, whatever. But then we discovered, when you go in here, and you got the CarPlay screen, is what?
I swear to God, it worked.
It was touched before. What is happening? Oh my God, really? Were you messing with me?
No, it totally worked.
Okay, it was a touchscreen like half an hour ago. All right,
Not
whatever.
even, like 10 minutes ago. And we were shocked when it was a touchscreen. We're like, wait, this thing has a touchscreen? I don't understand.
I'm very confused now. All right, well, apparently it does not have a touchscreen. I wonder...
Were we just leaning on it? Or was there...
It just happened to be the exact right thing that I... No, it works! It just did
What
it.
happened?
I don't know. I hit the home button. Okay, it's a touchscreen, apparently.
Except that when
Some
it's
of the
not.
time. Maybe it's just a bad touchscreen?
There's no way it's that bad. What is this?
Okay, I don't know what's going on.
This is a whole video of itself. Like,
It worked for a second. We saw it. We caught it on video. It's like Bigfoot. All right, whatever. I don't care. So the screen, which is or is not a touchscreen, apparently,
it's super buggy.
is a little confused. But it looks good. I wish it was a little bit bigger because this thing is rather large.
Yeah, I like that landscape orientation, but it's kind of small. What I texted you about, right? I said I love the finish of this car, but I said this infotainment is driving me bananas.
Yeah. If you just leave it in CarPlay, it's fine. I wish it was reliably touchscreen. And if it had that, then it'd be fine. Then nothing else would matter. So they can go ahead and fix that. Does have heated and cooled seats. Can we do both at the same time? No. Only the Germans. Europeans can do that.
Yeah.
Everyone else can't. It's got auto windshield wipers. It's got auto high beams. It's got adaptive cruise, which actually I'm going to turn on. Maybe.
It works. The adaptive cruise worked well. I used it. It was great.
There we go.
I will say it does not have lane centering, active lane centering, but it does have the safety lane departure that'll ping pong you between.
Yep, and it'll push you back in. So you just gotta, steer.
From a safety point of view, it checks the box. From a convenience point of view, it did make me sad that it didn't have the lane centering.
Yeah, other brands are adding it.
Yeah.
I would assume it's coming. So a small knock for that.
To me, it's kind of like, I know it's a convenience feature for sure, but it's really nice to have.
Yeah. Or Sirius XM subscription has updated.
Maybe now it's a touchscreen.
Hey! It is.
I don't understand.
Excellent. I don't... Okay. Look! Our screen is a touchscreen.
Again.
That's very exciting. Okay, great. It's got a touchscreen in CarPlay. But let's see. Is it in... This is so weird. No. Okay. So it's only in CarPlay and maybe Android Auto.
And not other times in CarPlay.
Wow, what is happening? It's very strange that sometimes it's touchscreen and sometimes it isn't. Okay, whatever. We're going to move on from that now. Other things I really like. The dash is really pretty. It's like the fonts are good. It looks really sharp. The screen, the digital screen. So it's got these like round physical, I mean, they look metal, but they're plastic, right? Circles around it to make you dials. But they're all digital.
Yeah, digital.
Well, the middle one is digital.
The middle one's digital, and then the side ones are definitely analog.
Yeah, you've got a physical tack, which is totally unnecessary, but it's, sporty, and things like that. And you do get the outside temperature and your distance to empty. And your digital speed is up on the heads-up display, which is also excellent and sharp.
That was probably the best I've seen at like this price point.
Yes,
that's
for sure.
Really nice.
Yeah, and it shows a good amount of data. It shows your current speed limit, and it's getting that from the camera. And then it also shows you things like if you're coming up to a stop sign, it'll show you the stop sign on the heads-up display.
Yeah.
Little red stop sign. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Which I didn't even pick up on. Good catch.
Yeah, well, I can't figure out, and I'm sure it's in there somewhere, how you adjust it to move up and down. Usually there's a button. I don't know where it is.
I don't have any problems with the way it was set, but
Well, it's if you're too high,
yeah,
you
it's all about where your seating position is.
Yeah, exactly. You change your seating position. Up here, you'd have a place to put your sunglasses, which I like. That's something I look for. Yeah, I mean, it's all just sort of like nice. I do wish it had the full size moonroof, but this price point, that is super hit or miss.
It is super hit or miss, and honestly, I'm not like a guy who cares about that. It's nice. It has a wow factor to it, but I find even in our car with the big moonroof, because it closes automatically when it gets hot.
You just leave it open in the Volvo.
In the Volvo. So the Volvo, if it gets hot inside, it closes that screen. More often than not, we don't even have the screen open because we get in the car, it's already been closed, and I just don't even think to open it.
Yeah. So what Volvo needs to do is automatically open the screen when you get back in.
That's a difference.
We'll give them some feedback on that.
Yeah.
So all those bits are nice. The screens are good. I like that it gives you a little fake indicator there to show you where your cruise control is set.
Yep.
That's kind of neat.
It's in your heads-up display.
Yep, and it's up there, and you get your current speed, and you got all that stuff.
I found myself not even using the dash cluster because the heads-up display was that good.
Yeah, it's right there. It's bright. It all looks good. The heads-up display is good. Whoever they get that from is great. The shifter is normal.
Yes.
And standard, PRND.
Thankfully.
Yes, it's got manual mode.
Yeah.
Which you'll never use.
Yep.
It has a sport mode, which you might. Which
just seems to hold the engine revs higher. I didn't.
Yeah, it's shifting and stuff like that.
I tried it. I was like, whoop-de-doo. Okay,
Yeah,
every car has it. It's like a box you have to check.
Yeah, it's my theory with sport mode is that they have to tweak all the engine management stuff to meet fuel economy. Mm-hmm. And sport mode puts it into whatever the engineers actually designed the engine to be.
Interesting.
So you put it in normal mode, and it's like, oh, this is the mode for the EPA, and then you put it into normal mode or sport, and then that's the mode for regular people. That's my theory. Speaking of, what's it say for fuel economies?
It's not terrible. I recall it being right about the middle of the pack. It's 24 combined.
Yep.
Okay, that's not the...
22, 27.
Yeah, 22, 27, 24 combined is the number to pay attention to, which is, again, not terrible. It's also not the best. It's got 227 horsepower.
Yeah, that's good.
310 pound-feet of torque. It's the Skyactiv 2.5 turbo.
Yeah, that's why the fuel economy is bad, because it's got the bigger engine.
Yeah, you would do better. 24 miles a gallon, if you had a car 10 years ago, you'd be like, that's great. Nowadays,
but you're trading that off for Zoom.
Something like that.
Yeah. The outside, I think, looks great. Mazda's design language in general is really good. It does look kind of sporty. I like the color.
Design is very
super subjective, right?
Yeah, and I have just never been I like a boxy thing. It's the curvy bits and like...
Yeah, so I think the outside looks really good. I like the swoopy design. It's very sporty. It reminds me, clearly they're either cribbing from the Miata or are the Miata's cribbing from this to make it look good. Zoom. It's kind of swoopy. It's got that aggressive back.
Yeah, it's not an ugly car by any stretch. It's just I don't know. It just doesn't turn me on. I don't know. It's not offensive either. I wouldn't let styling get in the way of buying this, though.
Comment below about why Brian is wrong and how this car is really good looking. Perfect. The seats in the back are good.
Yeah.
It's got good trunk storage spots. They fold down.
Yeah. Oh, not only do they fold down, one of the things I was excited about, it's got the three-way fold.
So you got 40-40-20.
Yeah, which is great because if you're like me and you go skiing all the time, now I can get 4 people and their skis because I put them right down the middle and still have 2 seats.
Did you put skis in it?
I did not. It's still a little warm. It's like 60 degrees out right now. 57 it is. So It's still not ski weather, so I didn't have the excuse to take it. But when it gets colder, I will.
In this car? Yeah. What, in the next hour?
Well, no. I will in other cars, yes, I should say. It's super nice. If you're a skier, like some of them even have like the center pass-through, and you see this a lot in some of the German cars, or the Swedish cars, they have that pass-through, but you can fit like 2 pairs. But when you have the full 20-40, the 40-20-40 fold, you can fit more than 2 pairs. So you can actually get 4 people worth of gear straight down that middle and still go. And if you have a family and you don't want to put them on the roof for a whole number of reasons, that's not a small thing.
Yeah, and it does have, even with the seats up in the back, you do have pretty good storage. back there as well. So if you need to put luggage, things like that, or just put all your ski crap while the skis go down the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
You can
That's
do
probably
good.
what it is. 4 boot bags, 4 pairs of skis, 4 people, no problem.
Yep. Well, it is Japanese, and I hear they have skiing there.
Don't tease.
We could go to the Mazda factory and...
We should talk to Mazda.
Go.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. See, what does it say on there? Where's it built?
That's a great question, actually.
I think it's Canada.
Sold to, shipped to, where does it say built to?
Final assembly right there.
Okay. Hiroshima. Yeah. I don't know if the skiing is very good in Hiroshima. That's southern Honshu.
Not Canada.
No. Well, there's plenty of flights to Japan that have fantastic skiing.
Well, you go to Hiroshima to visit the Mazda factory, and then
we'll go up to Hakuba
skiing.
and Nagano, and yes,
sure.
Get it. And maybe grab a quick flight over to Hokkaido.
Yeah. 2 guys in Japan. It's a spin-off.
Yeah.
I would do that. We'll do a little mini-series.
Yeah, 2 guys in Japan sounds good to me.
Sponsored by Mazda.
Yeah, maybe Subaru wants to visit too.
Sure. Subaru, Honda.
Toyota, yeah.
Nissan.
Toyota's in like Tokyo proper. There'll be a relatively easy bullet train ride over. Yeah.
Are they in Tokyo?
I think they're like right outside.
Like aren't they in Toyota? Isn't like there a city named Toyota?
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to look this one up.
Mitsubishi
Yeah.
is there. Yokohama. We go see some tires.
Yeah.
All those things. I want to go to Japan. I've been to Tokyo once, and it looked like this.
I bet it does.
There was a typhoon. Yeah, I stayed on the 58th floor or something of the Andes Tokyo, and breakfast was like up there.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see anything. Like, you see the view when you look up right now into the clouds? That's what it looked like out the window. So it was great.
Oh, great. Nice. Appreciate that.
Yeah, there was a typhoon, though.
Yeah.
But I got out. Flew in. Did my stuff, flew out. Andes Tokyo was really nice, by the way.
Yeah.
If you gotta stay somewhere in Tokyo, you can go there. It's really good. Breakfast was delicious. We didn't talk much about these buttons, but I like them. You got knobs.
That's actually a sign of the fact that they're functional.
That they're good. Yeah, we didn't complain. Oh yeah, that's where you turn stuff on. You just set it on auto and sync, and then you set it to whatever temperature you want, and you're done.
It works fine. I mean, that's all I ask from a climate control system. If you see me talk about climate control, it's because they screwed it up.
You got a big bin up here, which is kind of nice. You got a 12-volt adapter. Yeah. You do not have any USB, which is a little strange.
It's more than a little.
USB's in here, in the bottom thing. There's 2 of them, and another 12-volt, and so you can throw your phone up there. But then you have the cable has to go somewhere, which is like, it's okay. There should be like they should start building a little runner.
I'm gonna say this.
Cable.
Part of the problem here, and it doesn't excuse the USB, but just of not having space, is the fact that they have the regular Prindle shifter, which I like, but it does take up space.
Yeah, because it's got to go to. Yeah, whereas if you had a knob or a little like
knob,
one of the
shift
modern,
by wire,
so we're gonna complain about the new shifters because they're hard to use, and then we're gonna be like, but they take up a lot less space, and you do get more room, and that's kind of nice.
I don't, you know,
that's why you use the new shifter, right?
That is why you use the new shifter. You know, I don't mind as much the dial shifter if it's hidden somewhere where I'm not going to grab it, think it's a volume knob, which some of them are really not
like right next to this.
Yeah. Some of them are a little questionable there. The push buttons where there's like a piano board or like that's where it gets a little bit like.
I don't mind those.
But then they take up almost as much space as this thing does when you have a whole row of buttons.
Yeah, but you could put it up here. Or down here.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, we're not car interior designers. You can clearly tell.
Yeah.
Because we're just like, let's move stuff around. Grump, grump, grump. I don't know what this is.
I think it used to be a CD because this platform design back in the day.
That's where your CD goes. But we don't need a CD because we have a touchscreen.
No, we don't. Not in this,
not
in this 5-minute interval.
God, that's weird. That's very weird. It may be this one. It may be all of them. I don't know.
I'd be shocked if it was just this one.
It's gonna say right here. Last things to talk about. Fuel economy average has been 22 since we got it. You were probably driving it to like work and stuff around town.
Yeah, around town.
Not cruising.
Not cruising, no.
So that meets the city. 22 is what it says for city, so that's about right.
Yeah, but I mean, when I said cruising, it's like it was highway. It was mixed driving. I would expect the 24. Yeah, I didn't think my driving cycle was that unusual.
Yeah. It does have a heated steering wheel. It's not that warm. It's sort of warm. It's only heated in this section.
I was going to say, it's only heated there. How much do you need it heated when it's 57 degrees out?
Oh, you don't, but I was testing it out. I'm a thorough reviewer. No matter how hot it is, I'll test that heated steering. No, I mean, it was a little chilly this morning when I got in the car.
Yeah.
So don't hate.
Yeah, no, I mean, this car, you looking for a quality of build, like materials that are nice. And something
this feels like a car that's going to last.
Yeah, it feels like a car that's going to last. It feels well built. Things to watch out for if you're an infotainment person, run. The sound quality is great, but it's just like the physical infotainment, as we discovered, is questionable.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's a Bose system.
Yeah, if you like the heads-up display, big bonus. No lane centering if you can get over that. My only caveat.
Yeah, I think for people who fancy themselves, they want to be a little bit more sporty with their driving.
Yeah.
I think it's a good choice. A little sportier, a little zoom. It's got that big engine with all the torques.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Torques are pretty good. Yep.
Yeah, it's not the smallest car in the world, so it's good to have.
Actually, I really like the size. That's a good point. This is considered like a compact SUV, but in reality,
I keep seeing them.
They are everywhere. You do see quite a few of them, at least in this area. I like the size. It's not so small you feel cramped. It's not enormous. You don't feel like you're navigating a boat. It's a really good size.
It's like a touch bigger than your XC40.
Yep.
It's like that, Jeep Cherokee-ish.
Yes. Yes.
Which is a good. That's a good size if you don't have kids or you got young kids.
You don't need the third row.
Yeah, don't need the third row.
And you don't need to haul a convenience store. It's fine.
Yeah, it works really good. So I think that's our upshot. Is like, hey, this is a good car.
Yeah.
All right. Like, subscribe, click the little bell to get notifications of new videos, which come every week. New videos every week.
So he says.
And comment below to tell Brian that he's wrong and this car is very good looking.
And that I don't need lane centering, which I got to be honest, once you have it, you have a hard time going
That's
without
one of those things, yeah. But I will say that the tracking is pretty good, and so I do have lane centering.
Yeah, no, so it tracks straight. It's just like when the road curves, it doesn't do it for you. And if you've never had that before, don't worry about it. You won't even know you're missing it.
Yeah.
If you have had it, it will bother you.
I would rather not have it than have a bad one.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. The adaptive cruise is really good, though.
It is. Yeah.
All right. There we go. 2019 Mazda CX-5. Done. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.